Ah, yes. You hear that sound? That is the delicious taste of non-alcoholic athletic brewing. If you're looking for a change or you're sober curious, check out Athletic Brewing. Go to willcoca.com/athletic brewing. Use code WILLC20 and get 20% off your next purchase. Welcome to the Will Coca Podcast. This is another 5-Minute Friday. I once had a teacher, a mentor, who would tell me that the hardest thing that you will do is right around the corner from the hardest thing you just did. At the time, this seemed like some sort of non sequitur response to whatever my complaining was at the time. But as the years have gone by, it's really resonated with me. Now, I've always been goal-driven, maybe a bit obsessive at times, and of course, always a dreamer. But as a kid, that's what got me to learn to play music, then to record myself, then to produce myself, then to mix and master, and so on and so on. But the thing for me was I was always trying to keep that goal moving that line forward. That line where you feel like you're done, like you've accomplished it, now you can just go back to, being? That terrifies me. That line scares me, and I refuse to believe that it exists. I do celebrate small wins, but as Newton's first law of motion states, an object in motion remains in motion. So for me, that means don't ever stop moving. Have you guys ever heard of the term Misogi? Misogi is an ancient Japanese practice involving purifying the mind, the body, the spirit through some sort of physical and mental challenge. See, in samurai tradition, it helps build warriors' mental clarity and gain a deeper understanding of themselves by pushing their limits. I ran into this term a couple years ago listening to Michael Easter talk, author of Comfort Crisis and Scarcity Brain. Listen to what he had to say about Misogi.
What improves performance and potential? It can't always be measured in a way. There's intangibles that some people have. And so to get to these, he does this idea called Misogi. Now the backup for this is why it's important, is that if you think about how humans evolved, we used to have to do hard things all the time. No safety net. This could be from a big hunt, moving from summering to wintering grounds, tiger lurking in the bushes, all these different things. So we were challenged all the time. And if we failed, we would die. But each time we would take on one of these challenges, you would inevitably learn what your potential was, right? You would really have to dig deep, push, and you would come out of that, assuming it went well, you made it out the other side, knowing what you were capable of.
The first time I heard this, it was like mind-blowing. But how can you simply, by choice, redefine the boundaries of what you think is really hard or challenging enough to try it at all costs? How do you know even what to choose? How do you even know if you're doing it right? Jesse Yatzler, founder of All Day Running Company, explains it like this.
I highly encourage you to create a Misogi. That is one big year-defining event, something that you look back at the end of 2024 and be like, man, this year, look what I did last year for me. I rode my bike across the country. So that could be, I'm launching a podcast. I'm writing a book. I'm going to do a TED Talk. I'm quitting smoking. Something that's challenging, year-defining, hard, you're looking forward to on your calendar. And in 7 years from now, in 2031, you could be like, man, in 2024, I did this.
So what is the part of your life you want to challenge? It could be from changing careers, running a marathon, or even walking every day. I truly believe that in some ways it's tied to an emotional part of us that is scared, facing a fears of sorts. For me, it's always been kind of an imposter syndrome. No matter what I do, I don't feel like I'm good enough doing it, or people don't think I'm good enough. So I think Misogi is bigger than that. I think it shows you that you are capable of doing amazing things. So what's the next thing for you? What's your Misogi? Thanks for listening, folks. That's been another 5-Minute Friday.